Welcome back. We have some professional StarCraft, but this time, something even more special. This is Team Liquid's Game of the Month for November of 2018. November of 2018, also including the WCS Global Finals, as well as Home Story Cup, with matches like Cyril versus Stats, Cyril versus Tejas, Cyril versus the whole world. But Cyril is not in this game. This is from the Kung Fu Cup, from Wardy's replay pack. So, and it does not involve a single Cyril, which is impressive. It involves in the top left, known as the robot for the lack of emotions and also the lack of his own name. It's innovation. But what is this? A Mecha Rex. And outside the base Rex, to intentionally hide. Well, let's go to the other side. Go to the other side. In the bottom right, it's Deer. One of the best Protoss in the world, not making as much of a splash in 2018, but still very capable, qualifying over and over for GSL. We'll see. So the entire point of what innovation is doing, it's not to necessarily hide. It's to hide the barracks, but also have it close to your base so it's not vulnerable. You can fly it back in a timely manner. Now, because players have gotten smart about it, this is a strategy from 2010, 2011, from Wings of Liberty days. That players would use after proxies kind of fell a little bit out of style. They were still in style for quite a while. But just to freak out a Protoss, essentially. And especially with the whole year of the proxy meta becoming more and more common, Protosses do indeed freak out. Dira is not. He's just expanding. He's not too intimidated by this. Innovation is going to be going for the Reaper. I'm not sure how... Well... I believe that is some trash talk. So, I'm not exactly sure. Is that in reference to the probe being locked in? Or has he seen anything? Yep, it's just the probe. The probe is dead now. Or did the probe get a kill? No. Okay, it's just the mind games. The chat games. The Reaper comes in. Now, will Deer realize the timing? It's a smiley face? Oh, that's even more trash talk. No. I knew it was some sort of emoji. Okay. It almost looks like a winky face, like... Your probe... Okay, I shouldn't do that. Your probe is dead now. And you can't do anything about it. The Stalker coming out. The Zealot is searching for a proxy that does not exist. The Stalker coming back to defend. Innovation gonna get a scout on all the tech, of which there is none. He actually builds the robo at the net between the gas geysers. There's quite a distance between them. The Reaper... barely gets out. Oh, the Zealot. Almost on the flank. Not quite gonna find it, though. A Cyclone is on the way. A nice basic staple of defense in the early game, especially on this new patch for Terran. With the Cyclone going back to being quite good against individual units, especially Protoss. Like, you can easily lock on to a Stalker and take it out. Or a Zealot, or an Adept, or an Oracle, or what have you. But very fragile, so less useful in attacking. Now, I recognize one of those. He loses the Reaper. He went by the Robo and responds to it. It's like, you sneaky devil. I assume somehow Korean is so incredibly information dense that in those two characters, he conveyed, you sneaky devil, putting that Robo at the natural. I tip my hat to you, but also bite my thumb at you simultaneously if I had any emotions. That's what he said. I ran it through Google Translate. The lock-on comes in, trying to do some harass, but you got to be very careful. That Cyclone, very fragile. And it's going to be a Warp Prism play. So some aggression out of Deer. He only has 2 gates, so this is mostly, well, to counter the Cyclone and any Cyclone pressure. And if Innovation gets too greedy, then he can be punished. Because if you open up with the Warp Prism, that essentially means you want to do some sort of harass, but also have the basis of Robo to work off of. The scan. Wait, what was that scan? Maybe scan the third. Not sure if he scanned the top of the ramp. Oh, wait. He scanned and killed the Observer on the other side of the map. That's actually super important. I'm sorry. I missed it. Did the Observer see the... Yeah, it saw Cloak researching potentially for Banshees. Looks like Innovation going to continue. It's almost a mind game once Cloak is scouted. That... Do you continue researching Cloak? Do you bother? or just cancel it, assuming they'll have observers. But observers don't move as fast as Banshees do unless you get that gravitic boosters upgrade. Wait, is it gravitic? Yeah, that's the right one. The battery not quite done in time. 2 kills so far. Tactical boys are being pulled alongside this tank push. He's pulling the Stalkers back. The Banshee will drag most of the army back, but at the same time, a Warp Prism on the opposite side. The Immortal, the Stalker's very dangerous. A Cloaked Banshee cannot be touched. He does not have an observer, but the attack at the front. There's a Banshee alongside. There's a single. The probes are pulled! Boys on both sides. The tanks will siege. Down goes the sentry. Immortal in front. Barrier is offline. The Immortal will be taken out. One tank is the casualty, but one will survive. The Cyclone's still in the midst of everything. The Banshee is gone. This will be cleaned up. The Warp Prism is on the way back home. The boys are desperately well, actually, he's going to go back in mine. Okay. All right, that's fine. So, what's the damage? 13 versus 11 workers killed. The SCV's dying to the Warp Prism harass, but the probes dying to the tank push. 53 to 53 supply dead. Even neither player has tech. There's no stim. There's no real bio. He's still relying on 111, but Deer is about as close to it as you can be as a Protoss 2. He's reliant on these unupgraded brute force units. He's got a Warp Prism. He's got a Robo, but no Twilight, no +1. He's desperately, well, he's thinking about a third. He's not desperate for it quite yet, but these Banshees might make it a little bit more so. There's no base to recall to if the Nexus is dead. Now, 2 Banshees as well. If there was a shield battery, they could kill the probes before the shields come up. So Deer, he's going to be able to box out the Banshees, and that means there's no Banshees at home to defend. No Terran recall as of this patch. Another Banshee is being built. That's not a Raven to try to negate the Warp Prism. Unfortunately, this position a little bit out of range of the tank. Still looking for an opportunity. The Banshees are working their way towards the main. Another Banshee comes up. One Stalker is lost, but he will be able to save the Immortal, and the Prism gets out. Very important. Deer still threatening, but the Banshees are coming in towards the main. He cloaks. There's still an observer at home. He's going to have to warp in some more Stalkers. This is making Deer, I'm sure, quite antsy. That supply depot in front to try to screw up the AI of units who might just be A-moving in. The Banshees are obliterating probes. He must attack, and he must attack now. The rest of the Stalkers are on the way. The Immortal juggled back on top of everything. He's keeping it alive. He's juggling between the tank shots. He's seeing the tank shots and moving his way back. The Immortal kills all the tanks. There's very little anti-air to stop this warping right on top of everything. The Banshees have cleaned out the main. The SCVs, the boys are pulled. A Banshee in the main base. He's juggling back and forth. More Stalkers. Where's the observer? The Banshee is not even cloaked. Doesn't matter right now. He's desperately trying to get the tank to be able to siege up. He's got the depot at the back. The Banshee's still killing probes. There are 20 probes to 13 SCVs. He dunks the Immortal right back on top. Dodging the Banshee shots. Dodging the Banshee shots! Oh, he loses the Immortal. The Banshee, will it go down? Yes! Another Banshee. The Observer's here. The Banshees are killing all the probes at the same time. The Warp Prism still cannot be killed. He can juggle back. The Stalkers making their way down the ramp in the most stylish way possible. There are 0 probes. 0 probes. There are no probes. He's got very serious problems. But going forward. More Stalkers being warped. He warps in enough. He can no longer. He cannot build another Nexus. He can only build like 1 or 2 more probes. He has no hope of expanding. Is this going to become a base trade? A scan comes out. Did he kill the Observer? Is there an Observer? The Observer is on its way across the map. It takes quite a while. Innovation down to 1 SCV to 2 probes. He's rebuilt probes. That's happening. The Stalkers are still going to work, but there are 2 Banshees. They do have cloak. He recalls. I don't know about that choice. He kills 3. Innovation still has mules, though, so what is the mining? What is the mining gonna look like when this all ends? He used a scan to kill one of the obs, which kept him from dying outright. There is a tank on the way. Both players are broke. We're playing poverty StarCraft right now. Nobody can rebuild their units. It's real chess. Who has what piece? Did he see the Banshees? They're on their way back. There's only 3 probes mining. 4 probes. I'm bad at counting. The Stalker's on the way. He doesn't have a medevac or anything to counter juggle. 2 Marines finish. The mules desperately doing their best. Does he even bother sieging up the tank? The Prism. Where is the Prism? The Prism is on the way back, but why? Oh, is he gonna save the probe with the Prism? Oh no, he loses it. Then why is the Prism even here? The tank went down. The tank went down on the other side. He did lose a Stalker for it. The Marines desperately How many minerals does he have? He doesn't have enough for a Raven. A Raven, and if he could kill the Observer and then kill the Robo, that could be the Hail Mary. Innovation is lifting his buildings, but it's not to trash talk his opponent. We're at 17 total supply. He has a Warp Prism. Innovation correctly realizing that probably doesn't have anything in it. The Stalkers... Oh, this is a draw. This is a draw. Well, okay, it's not necessarily... it's not 100% a draw. There's no mining for Deer. He can build probes. But there's no way he can get units that can kill. Is there anywhere to hide your buildings on the... Oh, yeah, there definitely is. He can get a barracks in the corner. So right now, Innovation can potentially not lose the game, but winning is a bit more difficult. Because 4 Stalkers and a Warp Prism, he can potentially dodge infinite Stalker shots with perfect micro. But you gotta be careful, because if Deer builds a probe, now, Innovation doesn't know there are no probes. Okay. If Deer builds a probe and then it just dies, at some point, he's just not gonna be able to rebuild. Another orbital. This orbital, it's burning! It's burning, but it's also mining! What does he build? Wait, what did he spend his gas on? Did he repair a Banshee or something? Is he gonna let this burn? That's the question. Both orbitals are burning. He checks, there's no mining. He drops another mule. Is that... A Viking is being produced. What? What is happening? Oh, the command center! It's burning! It's dead. This one will be saved for now. He's desperately building this Viking. He's got to have both Banshees. The Viking comes out. The Viking can stop the Prism. He's gonna juggle. The Viking stutter steps back. Where are the Banshees? The Banshees need to be a big part of this. He cloaks. Where's the Obs? The Obs isn't here. He's chasing. Innovation. The Obs is near the command center, which is also still burning, by the way. Oh, the Banshee's finding an opportunity. If he takes out the Viking, though, nothing can kill the Prism. The dance continues. The Observer trying to box out the Banshees. The Orbital burning. No probes versus 1 SCV versus none SCVs. This is almost guaranteed to burn now. The Observer is on the way. Wait, he can scan! He scans! He scans! Does he get the Obs? He does! What a play! But the Orbital will burn! And he has no more mules! But the Cloaked Banshees! He scans with the dying breath of an Orbital command! A probe has been rebuilt! The command center will burn! Does he have enough gas for another Obs? Oh, he doesn't. Oh, but he can get the Viking! No, he lost a Stalker! But if he can get enough gas, no, he doesn't have that. He can't see but the Banshees will run out of energy. The probes. Run, probes! Innovation has not rebuilt his base and is being revealed. The probes. Innovation looking for him. He doesn't find them. He doesn't find them. Oh my god. The probes mine under cover of night. 3 Marines. 1 Marine can make all the difference. He's mining the gas. He's mining the if he gets enough gas for an Obs. He's building another probe. He's gonna have enough gas. The buildings will lift. Innovation has no SCVs and no command centers. This is it. He's building an Observer! But that's not everything, because the Banshees and the Marines can still win the fight. If the Warp Prism is killed, he recalls. What a save. Deer, he knows he's coming. If the units aren't at his base, well, they're coming back to Innovations. The Marine. Deer is mining. Three probes. Desperately trying to get more. He can't. Half his gateways are unpowered. Not that that matters. He's building another probe. 2 Banshees and a Viking. The Banshee shots can be dodged by a Warp Prism. The Warp Prism, definitely the real MVP of this whole match. 100%. No question. There's nothing left to scan. Oh, the Banshees. But he has vision. the instant cloak. There's nothing like innovation has to go. It doesn't get better from here. It does not get better. He has 2 Marines. Ooh, takes a couple hits. Every shot matters. Every shot. He's got to dodge the Banshee shots and keep the Prism alive. Oh, he kills the Viking! Oh my god, and the juggles. The last Banshee. He can see what it's shooting. Like, there's nothing left. Oh, a deer! I am like 84% sure that's GG. I'm not 100%. But he throws it out. Oh, wait, if he could kill the probes. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, wait, he's going for the probes. He can save the probes with the Prism. Doesn't matter. There it is. Gets the Banshee. What is left? Innovation. It's over. It's over. 0 supply. It means LOL. So it's just a, oh my god. They put it over Cyril versus while that game I wouldn't say was necessarily a better game than Cyril versus Tasia. I mean, all the games were incredible in that list on Team Liquid. Team Liquid, a community site you should check out, but one of the most exciting games I've ever seen. Just so much action. They just start beating on each other and they don't stop until someone's dead. And 16 minutes saw well, many die, but no one ever able to get an economy, all that tech. Now, I'm not even gonna make anything clever here. Like and subscribe if you like good StarCraft, because I like bringing it to you. Thank you to Wardy for sending out that replay pack. Team Liquid for putting it all together.